Hello, trading is closed on October 7th, 2025. We always start with our disclaimer. We'll go over our calls and make our predictions. This is my trading plan for Wednesday. Wednesday is October the 8th, 2025. Remember, it's just a plan. I can change it. I can be wrong and trade at your own risk. Also, I don't know what overnight futures are going to do. They haven't begun trading as I'm recording this. Look for the pattern with the early high, which is this, and tomorrow should have the early low. We had mixed signals. We said the commonest thing was a gap in the prompt move outside yesterday's range, which we got. So gap, prompt move outside the day's range. We've been looking for October 10th as a possible change in trend day with some leeway. Many people think today could be a top. It certainly could be. 3 days is certainly within Woodson's range. I have a friend of mine with his own system, and it was an exact hit today if today's high hold is one of his dates. We had an optional target, 67.1880. Didn't have to print, but I said it would print about 95% of the time. It did print, and there's resistance right at the area. But according to the rules, I get no credit because we get sharply in the undesired direction. And that doesn't mean it won't print, it just means I'm no longer predicting it. So it worked, but I can't claim any credit since we gapped up first. We have a new target, 67.4729. It's an ultimate target. Ultimate means ultimately it prints. It doesn't mean it has to print tomorrow. It doesn't mean it has to print anytime soon, even though it usually will. And let's not forget, MEJT almost always will leave a failed target at major trend changes. Well, in the afternoon, MEJT said it was a false move here. We'd retrace over this line. We did right here. So we stopped at resistance, but stopping at resistance doesn't mean it's going to hold. If we gap over here, we could still rally from here. Don't forget we've had this big drop, but ever since the early drop, we just couldn't hold on to any of these lows. Now, the time is not up yet. We can gap under all these lows, and this formation doesn't mean a thing, and I don't know how we're going to do it. We take out these lows, then the fact that we haven't taken them out yet doesn't mean anything. Time's not up. But if we hold on to these lows, for example, and gap up here, we've gone over support, and we could trade higher. In the morning, we had an ultimate buy and an ultimate sell signal in the same pattern. The ultimate sell signal's already played out. The ultimate high, we should trade over this point. Well, this is pretty much a lock for me that almost always when you're going to have an ultimate buy and an ultimate sell in the same sequence in the morning, it's not going to stick. You're going to trade higher, you're going to trade lower, and by the time lunchtime comes around, you're going to be within these lines. This is a rare failure of the signal. I didn't make it one of the rules, but it almost always works. And when things start to fail and you're near a top, to me it's a greater sign of a top. When these things, when perfectly valid signals fail in MEJT, it's often a sign of a major change in trend. Let's go over the DeMark stuff again, keep you informed of what's going on with that. We're on the monthly sell. You don't need any more than this to give the sell signal, but again, a sell just means you're overextended and the thing won't complete till the end of the month. So as far as trading just based on this, you really can't because it's not really precise enough. What adds credibility is that you're now on a combo sell and a sequential sell on the weekly. And when these things occur in alignment, you get a very often a strong signal. The alignment gives a strong signal, and the length of these bars gives a strong signal. You don't really need anything else. But even though you don't need anything else, we're coming close on the daily. The last 3 bars on the combo don't have to obey all the rules. So if we get a rally of any size here, it'll be bar 13, which gives the sell. And if we rally for the next few days, you could also hit bar 13 on the sequential, even though you don't have to. And don't forget, these don't have to hit the same day. If these hit a few days apart, it still is enough. Even if this doesn't complete, you have enough to give a demarked sell in this area. If it does complete, it gives more credence to the call, but you don't need it. Well, this is the wave count I'm using. It hits it right on the nose. These are great fibs. You don't have to fudge. And if it's the right count, we should have a drop, and we shouldn't overtake the high of this wave 1, which is where? That's in the 5200s. Well, I don't think I'm going to sit around for a drop into the 5200s if that's the right idea. Wednesday's pattern has a early low regardless of where we open. There's a higher ultimate MEJT target. Ultimately it should print, but nothing requires it to print soon, although usually you don't have to wait long. We could have one more rally here without changing the long-term picture. A 3-day rally. I mean, if we hold on to our present high without beating it by much, it doesn't change a thing. It actually makes it more negative. Today it's within the window for a Woodson turn date, and is an exact hit on the timing system of a friend of mine. Ron demarked sell signals in the monthly and weekly charts, and we're close to getting them on the daily's chart as well, but you don't have to complete the pattern. Just because you don't get the signal doesn't mean you're not going to drop. Today gave a trader Vic 2B sell signal. My primary wave count that this is a high. Now anything needs confirmation by trading under today's close, but I think that's going to happen, even if it doesn't happen tomorrow. The inability of today's reversal to close intraday lows offers bulls the opportunity to rally tomorrow. Unless we gap and promptly undercut the low a day, we should trade higher, even if we don't close higher. If we rally through the end of the week, we'll see Woodson's date hit exactly, doesn't have to hit exactly, and very likely trigger another demarked sell, but again, you don't need more than what we already have. There's already sufficient evidence to make a top here credible. If the idea is correct, we should dropping soon, but if you overtake today's high by a significant amount, it kills the idea. As I've been saying, you don't have to pick the top to the point. If this is as negative as it looks, there should be plenty of time to jump on the train. If we undercut these lows and start dropping tomorrow, we have all we need for a top, all we need. But it doesn't change a thing. If we come back up, even rallying the rest of the week, hit this, don't violate this by much, that wouldn't change a thing, and I just can't rule it out. A lot depends on where we open tomorrow. We open down here, I'm not going to sit around waiting for it, but if we gap up and start adding to it, I might be a bit more cautious on where I enter a trade on the short side. Don't forget, until you really see the reversal, no matter how good this looks, there's always the chance, at least, that it's the wrong idea. You just need some confirmation for a call at the top when the market's rallying like this. You don't want to be on the wrong side, and you certainly have to honor stops. So tomorrow's pattern has the early low. We have a chance for a rally, perhaps rallying the end of the week, rallying into the end of the week, but it certainly isn't required. And if we start dropping here, I would tend to believe it. And that's today's call.